Metaverse Enterprise Solutions. Now it's doing the thing again like last time. It's hacking into my account. We log in. And it brings us here. I don't know what this stuff does. And I don't think I want to find out. So we're going to go back to the game. Doki Doki. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I am the Korrupted Judge, and we are back with more Doki Doki. I believe this is episode 4 or 5. I can't remember. Okay, so I still don't understand what that whole thing was where it kind of forced me to do like that login or whatever. So I don't know what to do about that. Okay, a quick recap. We did the first poem and everything. We've been talking to Yuri, and now we are going to read the book that she gave to us as a gift along with her, because she has the same book. There, you're all caught up. If you don't know what's going on, go check out the playlist on my channel. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It is as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting. I wonder why. But the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead.
Sorry. I was just...
Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you?
Oh, I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean...
Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them.
Ah, I suppose so.
Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a bit, our shoulders are almost touching. Shoulders. It feels like my left arm is in a... It feels like my left arm is in the way. I instead use my right hand to hold the book open. Ah, I guess this makes it kind of difficult to turn the page.
Here.
Oh, hang on. Which is the button? There's the button. Look at this beautiful scene. Oh. And you guys, and people wonder why I like Yuri. Look at this. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. Ah. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. Oh, this just got so much better. It's actually kind of distracting me. It is as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision.
Are you alright?
Eh?
To turn the page.
Ah, sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I didn't know how I'll be able to keep up with her.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh, that slight smile.
You're not used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a little bit longer.
I always hated that. Like, I think it was back in elementary school and middle school. We ended up having to do like stupid reading buddy type shit, and I'm allowed to swear. Yeah, we're like 5 minutes in. I can swear. I ended up having to do like this reading buddy thing, and two of us would read the same book, but we had to keep in the same pace. I hated it because I was kind of a bit of a slow reader. I liked reading and everything, but I was a slow reader at the time, so it kept screwing us up. They would be like one page ahead of me, and all that, and eventually it would gradually get worse, and it would gradually get worse and worse and worse, to the point where they were like maybe like a chapter ahead of me, and I was still yeah, they'd be a chapter ahead of me, and it would become ridiculous. I'm pretty sure I got an IEP throughout my entire schooling or whatever, from elementary school all the way to high school. Granted, well, these are stories for probably another video. Let's just get back into it.
It's probably the least I can do. Since you've been reading, since you've been so patient with me.
Yeah. Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side, as she catches it under her own thumb. I feel like I'm starting to get a bit of a stutter. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit.
You think so? How does she?
Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second guesses all of the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. I feel that. That's called anxiety. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. Stop using big words!
I see.
Aw, it's over. Yuri remains silent for the moment.
But corrupt. That's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. That's so embarrassing that you think that.
I feel like I changed up the deep voice somehow. Wait! I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. ... I guess I more meant it as kind of cute.
What are you saying all of a sudden? ...
Oh wait, no.
I...
You casually sliding in. You did this the last Doki video. Okay, everyone. ... I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. Aw yeah, my poem to Yuri. We may not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is everything alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this.
It's not. It's fine.
Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you?
I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way.
In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know?
That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters on your own time.
Alright! I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book and then slip it back into my bag. Oh, that's gonna suck. You're gonna forget. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Yeah, it's just a jumble of words, big words that even I don't understand. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Oh, I haven't done that voice in a while. I like it. I love how it's instinct for me. Shiori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Shiori is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. I always admired people who like had a dedicated like proper book, not like a ringed notebook or a 3-ring binder or anything, like a dedicated notebook to certain things, like a hardcover. I don't know why. I just always felt like that they had good dedication to what they wanted. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I share my poem to first? Is my audio picking up properly? Yes, it is. You know what? Let's get it done and over with. We're gonna go with Yuri. Yuri seems the most experienced, so I should start with her. I can trust her opinion to be fair. ... As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten.
Exceptional.
Eh? What was that? ...
Did I say that out loud?
Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face.
He's going to hate me. He's going to hate me.
I had to do that twice. I feel like I could do something with that line. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri.
I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for?
I think that's the original deep voice that I gave her. I'm sitting here trying to figure out what the deep voice is. I don't know why it's so difficult for me to figure out. Yuri takes a breath.
So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imaginary and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before.
Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really.
Huh?
Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. ...
Well...
Oh no, it's happening again. I'm shifting to the other one. I'm shifting to the other deep voice.
Well, I know that. I just meant,
Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly.
Yeah. Okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical... There are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words,
why does this voice is messing with me today? Is it because I'm actually presenting to Yuri? Is it screwing me up? Am I nervous? Of course not. I'm a ladies' man. Unless you've seen my dating history, in which case I'm not.
In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened.
Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert.
Of course, no, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all makes practice and learning by example, trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased, though.
Biased? How?
Uh, um, well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that.
Yeah, I definitely changed Yuri's deep, brooding, mature voice. And you know what? I like the way I'm doing it now. It sounds elegant, mature, and deep and brooding.
Sorry.
It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Oh, we get to read theirs. I forgot about that.
Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it.
That smile. That damn smile. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if this is a rare opportunity for her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, this isn't supposed to be a literature club. Alright, after all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Okay. Let's see what we got. Ghost Under the Light. I don't like reading cursive. Okay. You know what? Odds are you guys are gonna see my eye color now. Where'd I put my reading glasses? Joke's on you all. I am big brain. The tendons of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening Blue Queen. Jesus Christ. Well, I can't read cursive. So if any of you guys can read it, go ahead and pause it and leave it in the comments to let me know. Because I can't read it. I can't read cursive. And because of my yellow glasses, I can't really read it properly either. And I have no intention of taking them off. You guys aren't going to figure out what color my eyes are just yet. So, yeah. Sorry, Yuri, I didn't get to read it. ...
I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting.
No! That is not the issue! What? I wasn't thinking that at all. I just can't read cursive. Well, not properly.
But it took you a long time to record.
'Cause I'm engaging with the audience! Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Yes, Korrupt!
That's a relief.
Also, I like the poem, even though I had no idea what the heck it said. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive.
It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems.
Not at all.
I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose.
Are you into ghosts, Yuri?
Hew. Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Korrupt.
Really? I must have totally missed the point.
Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all.
That is true. The most I got is that your hair seems to illuminate under the night sky that's somehow blue underneath the final streetlight that refuses to turn off.
But remember that...
I forgot to turn my phone off.
But remember that poems often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps, the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of her past, and soon to be left with nothing.
That's a lot more soulman, putting it that way. I haven't even thought of that. That's impressive.
It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive, too. So...
Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you.
You think so?
Yeah, of course.
Ah. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Korrupt.
Ah. Me too. We still got time. Let's see. I'm gonna do this in the order of how I like the girls. Monica, cause she has second biggest booba. Oh, I'm such a degenerate. Hi, Korrupt. I just realized I'm gonna have to do the voice for this whole duration. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? Sure. It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Ah ha 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 ha. Don't worry, Korrupt. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know. But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Oh wait, no. Great job, Korrupt. I was going oh in my head while reading it. I was going oh in my head as I was reading it. Oh, the way you used the word unrestrained. I think that's one of the words I used. And
Determination.
it's really metaphorical. Yes, the word
Determination.
hails from the land of Undertale, where monsters plan to rise up against humanity, taking revenge for having their world taken away from them. One of these days we're going to play Undertale. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. I feel that. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort. Ah ha ha ha. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Really? I didn't realize. Writing things full of imaginary and symbolism. Unlike Sayori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness. Yuri likes it when readers are left to deceive. The mask. Close enough. Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively, both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all the nuance. I have no idea what that word is. It can make years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learning by trying new things. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay.
I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased towards their own kinds of styles. But I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Ah ha 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 ha. Ah ha 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 ha. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now?
That depends. Can I read it?
Don't worry, I'm not very good.
You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good.
Well, that's 'cause I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know.
I see. Well, let's read it then. Okay, it's not necessarily in cursive. Hole in the wall. It couldn't have been me. See the direction, the speckled what the heck? It couldn't have been me. See the directions of speckle produce, a noisy neighbor, an angry boyfriend. I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peered inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel. Blind, like a film left out of the sun. What the heck? Where am I? I couldn't have been. I lost my. Ah!
No, I can't see. I feel blind, like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retina, already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep. Stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in.
Odds are I butchered that, and I ain't gonna edit it to fix it.
So, what did you think?
It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to talk for feedback.
It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis into the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful.
What was the inspiration behind this one?
Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit.
An epiphany?
Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyways, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes, when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain goes into a fixated on a specific point. If you try hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink.
Am I using like a quill or something?
So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening.
Okay, I think that's enough for now. We still have Sayori and Natsuki to get through, and I know it's gonna take up probably another episode. So next time we do another Doki Doki, we'll talk with Sayori, we'll talk with Natsuki. And yeah, like I said, guys, I do apologize that we didn't get to read Yuri's poem properly. It's only because I can't read it properly. Like, cursive writing, I know how to write in cursive, but for some reason I still have trouble reading it. I don't know if I have dyslexia or what. Anyways, guys, I am the Korrupted Judge, and I will see you guys in the next video. See you around.